In a world that never stops talking, there are those who choose silence. They are the unseen observers, the quiet thinkers, and the rare speakers. But what if their silence isn't a weakness, but a superpower? What if, as philosopher Henry David Thoreau suggested, their quietude is a form of defiance against a world of noise and distraction? Let's pull back the curtain on the lives of people who rarely speak in public. Their stories might just change how you see the power of silence. Imagine a bustling office where everyone is engaged in lively chatter, except for one person. They're not antisocial or disengaged. In fact, they're taking in more than anyone else. This is a trait known as sensory processing sensitivity, a term coined by psychologist Elaine Aron. These individuals process information deeply and thoroughly, a trait that might seem like shyness but is actually a strength. They're not just hearing the words, they're reading the room, the nuances, the unspoken cues. Their silence is a sign of their depth, not their detachment. But what happens when the world demands more from them? When the noise becomes too loud to ignore? Stick around, because the story gets even more interesting. The social theater is a concept that suggests our daily interactions are performances, scripts played out in the grand stage of life. This idea is not new, it echoes the theories of sociologist Irving Goffman, who likened social interactions to theatrical performances, where individuals wear masks and play roles to fit into societal expectations. Picture a bustling city square, a crowd of people, each one a character in this vast play. To some, it's a vibrant tapestry of life, but to others, it's a sea of masks, empty vessels mouthing lines written by an unseen playwright. They stand at the edge of the crowd, observing. Each face they see is a mask, meticulously crafted to hide the true self. There's the happy employee, grinning as they chat with colleagues, their laughter a little too loud, a little too forced. The perfect parent, their smile never wavering as they listen to the PTA chair drone on. The life of the party, their jokes falling flat, their energy a desperate attempt to fill the silence. These masks are not malicious, they are a defense mechanism, a way to navigate the complex rules of social interaction. But to the observer, they feel hollow, a facade hiding the true emotions and thoughts of the wearer. This detachment is not a sign of aloofness or disdain. It's a form of hyper-awareness, a trait often seen in individuals with high sensory processing sensitivity, a term coined by psychologist Elaine Aron. These individuals are not just sensitive to sensory stimuli but also highly empathetic, absorbing the emotions of others like a sponge. The crowd, with its myriad masks and roles, is overwhelming, a cacophony of unspoken emotions and unvoiced thoughts. Their silence is not a weakness but a refuge, a chance to process the deluge of information they absorb from the social theater around them. But where does this leave them? In the next section, we'll explore how this silent observation can be a powerful tool for understanding the world. The sleepwalkers are deeply entrenched in the game of social dominance. They navigate life with an unspoken rulebook, constantly calculating their next move, their next word, their next laugh. It's a high-stakes game of chess, where every social interaction is a potential checkmate. They thrive on the adrenaline of competition, the dopamine hits of validation, and the serotonin boosts of acceptance. This is the world of sleepwalkers, where social hierarchies are the invisible ladders they climb, and every conversation is a step up or down. They are the life of the party, the center of attention, the ones who seem to have it all figured out. But beneath the surface, it's a constant battle for control, a never-ending quest for dominance. This is what psychologists call the hedonic treadmill, a cycle of pursuing and achieving goals, only to become accustomed to the new status quo and set new goals. In contrast, the viewer, the ghost, has woken up. They've seen the game for what it is, a never-ending cycle of social climbing, a treadmill that goes nowhere. They've chosen to step off, to opt out, to become a spectator. Socializing drains them. It's not just tiredness. It's a feeling of their battery slowly leaking, percent by percent, with every forced smile. The ghost doesn't play the game. They don't have to. They've found their strength in observation, in silence, in the power of listening. They are the ones in the corner of the room, watching, learning, understanding. They are the ones who remember the details, who see the patterns, who understand the game without playing it. This is what psychologist Elaine Aron calls sensory processing sensitivity, a trait that makes them more aware of subtleties in their environment, allowing them to pick up on things that others miss. the ghost isn't lazy or shy. They are simply conserving their energy for what truly matters to them. They are not angry or bitter. They are simply setting boundaries, protecting their peace. They are not missing out. They are choosing in. They are not failing to launch. They are simply taking their time, reflecting, growing, evolving. The ghost is a philosopher in their own right, a modern-day Nietzsche, creating their own values, their own meaning, their own purpose. They are not lost. They are simply exploring, discovering, understanding. They are not broken. They are simply different. And in a world full of sleepwalkers, that difference is a superpower. It's a beacon of light in a sea of darkness, a lighthouse guiding others to safety, to understanding, to enlightenment. In the quiet corners of social gatherings, away from the hum of conversation, exist individuals who rarely speak in public. Their silence is not a void but a deliberate choice, a manifestation of what can be termed existential autonomy. By not speaking, they refuse to be labeled, categorized, or owned by the people around them. This silence is their fortress, a boundary that protects their true selves from the expectations and judgments of others. It's a subtle act of defiance, a way to maintain their individuality in a world that often seeks to define and confine them. This concept finds resonance in the philosophical ideas of Jean-Paul Sartre, who emphasized the importance of existential freedom and personal responsibility. Sartre argued that individuals must create their own values and determine their own meaning in life, independent of external influences. For those who rarely speak in public, their silence is a way to assert this freedom. It's a refusal to be shaped by the opinions of others, a way to stay true to their own values and beliefs. In a room full of chatter, their silence is a statement of independence, a way to carve out their own space in the world. Moreover, this silence can be seen as a form of self-protection. In psychology, this aligns with the concept of self-monitoring, where individuals regulate their self-presentation and behavior to align with their internal feelings and beliefs rather than external social pressures. By choosing not to speak, they avoid the risk of saying something that might be misinterpreted or used to pigeonhole them. It's a way to keep their thoughts and feelings private, to maintain a sense of control over their personal narrative. In a world where words can be weaponized, their silence is a shield, a way to protect their authenticity. In the vast, echoing chamber of existence, the void is not an absence but a presence. It's the hum of the universe, the whisper of the cosmos, the steady beat of your own heart in the quiet. It's not the silence that others fear, it's the emptiness they see in it, the nothingness they project onto it. But the void is not empty. It's full of potential, of possibility, of truth. It's the canvas of reality, the raw, unfiltered reality that words often obscure. The comfort found in silence is akin to the concept of flow in psychology, a state of deep focus and absorption in an activity. For those who rarely speak, silence is an activity, a state of being. It's not a void of thought but a sea of it, a whirlpool of ideas, memories, and emotions that words can never fully capture. It's a sanctuary, a place where you can be truly alone, truly yourself. It's not a fear of the void but a reverence for it, a recognition of its power and its truth. Words, often, are a shield, a way to fill the void, to avoid the truth of being alone. They are a means of connection, yes, but also a distraction, a way to avoid the depth of the void. You don't speak because you've realized that most words are just a way to avoid the truth, to fill the void with noise. But the void is not something to be filled. It's something to be experienced, to be understood. It's the truth of existence, the reality of being alone, of being yourself. And in that truth, there is a power, a strength. It's the strength of solitude, the power of the void. In the grand theater of life, there are those who rarely speak, who stand at the edges of the stage, watching, listening, absorbing. They are the unseen observers, a term that echoes the philosophical concept of the spectator as described by French philosopher Blaise Pascal. Pascal believed that humans are both actors and spectators in the great theater of the world. These individuals, however, seem to have chosen the spectator's role more often than most. It's not that they lack thoughts or opinions. Rather, they have learned to find solace in silence, to find power in observation. Their silence is often misinterpreted as shyness or social anxiety, but it's more than that. It's a conscious choice, a strategic retreat. In a world that values extroversion, their quiet nature is a rebellion. They are not drained by social interactions as much as they are invigorated by solitude. This aligns with the concept of sensory processing sensitivity described by psychologist Elaine Aron. Highly sensitive people, as she calls them, often need more time to process and reflect. In their silence, they are processing, reflecting, and often understanding more than their louder counterparts. Invisibility, then, becomes their superpower. While others are busy being seen, heard, and validated, the unseen observer is free. Free to observe, to learn, to understand. Their silence is not a weakness but a shield, a tool for boundary setting. It's a form of quiet influence, a concept explored by psychologist Carl Albrecht. They may not command attention, but their insights, when shared, often carry weight. Their invisibility is their strength, their silence their freedom. In the end, the unseen observer is the silent chronicler of the human comedy. They may not be the stars of the show, but they are the ones who understand the script, who see the patterns, who appreciate the nuances. Their silence is not an absence of voice but a choice of when to use it. And when they do speak, it's often worth listening to. For they have been watching, learning, understanding. They are the unseen observers, and their strength lies in their silence. As we've seen, those who rarely speak in public are not just quiet, they're often deeply observant, introspective, and possess a remarkable ability to listen. This aligns with the psychological concept of high sensory processing sensitivity, a trait studied by Dr. Elaine Aron, which includes a greater depth of processing and awareness of subtleties in the environment. Their silence is not a lack of thought, but a reservoir of unspoken wisdom. They are the unnoticed architects of empathy, the silent guardians of thoughtful consideration. So, the next time you meet someone who rarely speaks, remember, their quietude is not a void, but a space filled with profound observation and understanding. If you found this exploration of introversion intriguing, join us next time as we delve into the world of the power of solitude, where we'll uncover the hidden strengths of spending time alone. Until then, take a moment to appreciate the quiet voices, they often have the most to say.